What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Mohako. Today, we're going to go over some very basic stuff. Maybe you saw this in this game in a trailer, or someone playing it on Twitch, or you've seen things on, say, Instagram or whatever about new characters releasing. Today, we're just going to go over some very basic things just in case you were to get interested in wanting to play this game. This is a free to play game. Doesn't cost any money to download this game and start playing it right now. It's available on Android, pretty sure Apple. It's on PS5, Xbox Series X and S is coming very soon. If not, it should be out by now. I know they did have a video up on that. And of course, it's available on PC. And just to let you know, if you were to play it on one platform, your current stuff does carry over across all the platforms. That's right, including the phone. So don't worry if you did start on the Xbox or something, you can still carry all your data across all of the platforms mentioned. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So Zenless Zone Zero is a what you call gacha game. Gacha, short for gachapon. Sorry if I butchered that, but essentially it's a game where you want to pull, the term that people use, for a character or an item, weapon, whatever it is that you want to get. You have to pull for a chance to get that specific character or weapon or whatever. So if you look at the top right of the screen, you will see that basically I have 72 pulls. So at the bottom right of the screen where it says 90 searches, that's how many searches maximum it will take before you either get the character on this banner or a non-limited S rank character. So for now, the two characters up that are limited available to pull are Jane Doe and Vivian. Jane Doe has been out since about 1.1 or 1.2. Forgive me, I forget the exact one. And Vivian just came out about 2 weeks ago. So the other thing to note is it says time remaining 11 days. So you have 11 days to keep pulling for this character. Now, another thing I want to jump into and explain is this. As you can see, I pressed R3 because I'm playing on a PlayStation controller, specifically the DualSense. Says boosted signals, 50% of S rank signal reception rate. So anytime you pull, you have a 50% chance to either get the banner that you clicked on, in this case it's Vivian's banner, or you will get, when I scroll down my mouse, one of these S rank limited characters. Standard characters, I'm sorry. So Nekomata, Soldier 11, Kalita, Lycan, Grace, and Rena. It does include Vivian, but we already went over Vivian, but it doesn't guarantee that you get Vivian. That's the bad news. But the good news is it's a 50% chance. However, how these gachas work is very simple. If you were to pull, you have up to 90 pulls before the game guarantees that you get one of those characters mentioned in this specific pull. So the next one we're going to go to are the engines, the W engines, or some people like to call it in the community the Wingen. Now the Wingen is the character's weapon. You have the signature Wingen, which is like specifically tailor-made for that character specifically. So Flight of Fancy, this one's for Vivian. So if you get Vivian, I'm pretty sure they did some testing across many videos out there. Best in slot for her, meaning it's the best one that you can have for her specifically. And then for Jane Doe, you have Sharp and Stinger. Now, same thing we did with the character banners. You press R3. This one is actually easier to get, but the searches, when I go back, I'll show you. is lower. You within 80 searches or pulls, you will be guaranteed either the Flight of Fancy one, which is the S limited engine, or scroll down, one of the others, which applies to all the characters I read on the other list. Steel Cushion, the Brimstone, Hellfire Gears, the Restrain, Fusion Compiler, and Weeping Cradle. But that's the good thing about the S rank limited Wengeance is you have a much higher chance to get that thing. And trust me, it is way easier because it's been sometimes I've had to use maybe 20 or 25 pulls, which is all things considered pretty good. You definitely don't want to have to do all 80 pulls because you want to be able to save as many as you want, depending on if you're trying to invest, as people say, vertically or horizontally. A vertical investment would be if you put most of your pulls and resources and everything into just one or two agents and weapons and everything. Whereas the horizontal would be if you were to put all of your investment, spread it out evenly. So instead of it just being, hey, this one character is going to be cracked out or whatever, let's get everyone that we can. Obviously, if you're free to play or whatever, it's going to be a bit more limited, but it's still possible. Just take a little longer. But yeah, so that is an option right there. Now, speaking of agents and everything, if you were to press start or options, as we have to call it nowadays, you can do that and it'll bring up a list of everything else going on. So we're just going to go to agents. We're going to keep this video nice and simple, just in case somebody was thinking of maybe getting into Zenless Zone Zero. They're a bit confused.
Eradicate
so
all evil.
The characters in this game that are playable are called agents. As you can see, this is Miyabi, has her name at the bottom left. You'll see two other icons next to the stickman figures. So you have that bluish, purplish looking one. That's her element. The one next to that is the type of character she is. So that's the anomaly symbol. So we're going to click on her. So as you can see, Frost in the highlighted circle, and then anomaly right next to it. And then it just tells you the group she's in and all that. So Hollow Special Operations Section 6, that's her group affiliation. My Miyabi just so happens to be maxed out for the level. Probably not the greatest stats. I'm sure there's some people with better sub roles and stuff, but that's not the point. This is just to get you started, kind of understand what's going on. So if you press R2, you'll go to skills. And this is what we call the core skill. As you can see, there's the letters A through F. And then each and every one basically contributes to making the character stronger. So we're not gonna go over this whole thing because that's not what this video is about. So where it says frost damage equal to 875, if I press down to B, it goes to 1000. If I go to C, 1125%, 1250, 1375, and then maxed on core skill F is 1500. So as you can see, if you were to level this up, you would basically make the character stronger. So typically you would want to level this up as quickly as you can. Now I'm going to switch over to a character I have not built so I can explain this next part about the core skill.
This is the path I follow.
So we'll go to Kalita because I don't have her built up at all. So this is perfect. If you want to level a character up, you press X, or if you're on Xbox, you press A. Now these are the tapes that you have to use. You can get these tapes by just simply playing the game, completing events and stuff. You can usually get them that way. You can go to the HIA and spend some energy for the day, and you'll be able to earn it that way. So there's many ways to earn tapes, and tapes are specifically used to level up your character. The investigator logs. All right, so we're not going to do anything because I'm not really trying to build her right now. But what I wanted to show you before, the core skills. So as you can see at the bottom left, it'll tell you what it costs to level up or gain this specific core skill. So that's 5,000 of this game's currency. Then next up, it says 8 of 2. So the right number is the number that you need. The left number is the number of that material that you have. So as you can see, if you press R3, press X on PlayStation controller, it says higher dimensional data. What's nice about this game is you don't have to remember every single thing, like resources to the T. If you get confused, you can usually look at the bottom or whatever and see how it says at the bottom of the screen, R3 details. You just press that. Now it highlights these resources. It tells you what they are. So the in-game currency of this game is called Denny. So you'll need Denny and you'll need higher dimensional data Steel Malice to level up her core skills. All right. And then as you can see, this new one pops up, this yellow looking one. This one's called Living Drive. So you have two ways to get it, either by completing Notorious Hunt, which by the way, you do have to unlock. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to get into this game or learn about it or whatever. This is a mode you do have to unlock, but it's not hard to unlock, so no worries about that. Or B, Outpost Logistics. That's like a store. Once again, that's another thing you have to unlock as well. But as you can see, this game keeps it pretty simple with the resource thing and all that in terms of how you get them, at least. The getting part can be a little different depending on how many characters at once you're trying to invest in and level up and everything else. So same thing with this. This is the W engine that I mentioned earlier, and it tells you everything you need to know. So where it says in the middle of the screen, W engine effect, for characters with the hammer stun specialty. The hammer, the reason I said that is the icon. It's like a gray hammer, and that's what stun means, because there's a bunch of different types. You have attack, anomaly, stun, and support. And then of course you have the more defensive specialty one as well. Okay, so this is also the section where you would use what are called disk drives. Disk drives kind of complement your character and what they're going to be doing or whatever. So for example, let me go to a character that I actually have basically kind of built up or whatever.
Officer 148,
Choose Juyuan, for example. Again, probably butchered the name, but you know. All right, so these is her disk drives that I have, right? So I'm using 4-piece chaotic metal because each disk drive has a name, and then the 4 is just how many of them you are using. You either always want to do 2, because every disc set has what's called a piece set, like an ability. So if you have 2 pieces for her with chaotic metal, you'll get ether damage plus 10%, which is, you think about it, it's really not too bad. You know, it adds up, because then you can do things with other disc sets that might increase that or complement that, like some sort of critical damage buff, attack percentage buff, so on and so forth. The list goes on, but we'll keep it simple. So that's what that is. And as you can see, the 4-piece set, equippers crit damage increases by 20%. When any character in the squad triggers corruption, additional damage, this effect further increases by 5.5% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 6 times. So as you can see, things get kind of multiplicative and things like that. So, you know, it's a lot of strategy. If that's your kind of thing, you definitely might want to dive into this game and check it out. Once again, it is free. I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm just kind of, you know, explaining some of the more basic concepts, show you what a battle looks like. Just a simple thing, nothing crazy. And this next set, which is 2-piece, is her Woodpecker Electro. So if you just have 2 pieces for this, it's just the crit rate plus 8. Not going to go over 4-piece because we're not using that. Her engine is maxed out. When you level these engines up, you increase the base stat, which for this is usually always base attack. I don't think I've seen any without base attack as the base stat for W engines. The advanced stat is crit damage. So this is pretty nice because it boosts the character as many ways as possible with the 2 stats, and then the additional stuff explained below. This is a attack specialty type of Wenjin, so keep that in mind, because you can't mix and match. You can't use like a stun specialty Wenjin for an attacker. You literally can't do that. So, and then you see what the additional information is below. Increased crit rate by 15%. Launching an EX special attack grants the equipper 8 charge stacks. So as you can see, it gets nice, and that is an S limited engine. So you might be wondering,
Officer 148,
well,
Juyuan,
how do I
ready.
get some of this stuff? Is it free to play and everything? Yes. So if you're free to play, if you're familiar with the battle pass system, this game does have something like it, where one row is completely free and the other row is premium. So as you can see at the very top, free. So some investigator logs, so 4 up top, 6 at the bottom, and they're different rarities too, because the A rank ones give you more experience points. So that's something to consider. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's about $10 or $20 to get the new Eridu City Fund. So keep that in mind. And that's a per month thing. You're not like locked into the plan. You can just get it when you want. So this is one way to get some of the materials, like the battery. This is used to restore your daily energy. The daily energy goes up no matter what, whether you're playing or not. But just know, if you were to use one of these batteries that's provided, if you were working on a character, you would be able to easily gain more energy in order to do more activities that require energy in the game. You can always fight without energy and everything, but some of the modes will require you to have energy to get the rewards for completing that mode. Whereas some modes, it doesn't require any energy at all. It just says, hey, you got everything that you could get for the week. Just have to wait for the in-game cooldown to go down. It's usually a weekly or something like that. So keep that in mind. This is for the W engine, so you can level those up. Blue rarity, B rank, and then this is a A rank rarity. And as you can see, A rank is obviously better than B rank because it gives 3,000 versus B rank's 600. So massive difference. Denny's, we already know about that. Now, this is the other pull. This is the master tape. So this one just allows you to get anything that's on standard banner. Those are the characters that are always going to be around. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is or month or whatever, what time of day you're playing. These characters are always available, as well as their Wenjins and everything else. So there's B rank, W engines, A rank, and then S rank ones. And this works the same way. And just in case I didn't show it, we're going to go back to the signal search. This is it right here. It's going to be your stable channel. I don't know why it says channel stable. It's kind of weird, but yeah. So if we were to press square, which I'm going to do right now just to show you for the video, see what we get. It's probably not going to be anything special. You can skip. B rank, W engine, nothing special. But as you saw that material, if you press L3, the good thing about this game is even if you don't get what you want, you still get something. And the more you lose, it's almost like the more you win, simply because you do, at the end of the day, get other materials and stuff. So this is what you can get from the signal search. And when you keep getting those B rank W engines and everything, you can spend those tokens, fading signal tokens, on one of these few items. And one of them just so happens to be that master tape that I just used, but I bought them already. I have to wait 29 days. As you can see, there's a cooldown. And then you have this right here, the encrypted master tape, which is what you need for the limited time S ranks. Okay? If you ever need some Denny's, some quick Denny's, and you kept losing on your pulls, you're getting those constant B ranks, hey, this is the place to be. You can use them right on these. Okay, I've already used this one. It's locked apparently. You can use them for this right here. You can use them from anything in here. Like these are character leveling materials. These advanced chips. This is what you use to level up their skills. Okay. Same thing if you were to pull for what we call the Bangboos. The Bangboos essentially are these little small creatures that assist you in battle. And you can go to this section anytime you pull on that banner to be able to get a chance to get the Bangboo that you want. So I'll show you that real quick. And this channel is always around. So I'm trying to pull for Robin. I don't have any pulls currently. Not too worried about it, but just to show you what I mean, you press X, it says selected S rank Bangboo. Okay. So Snap, Resin Boo, Plug Boo, Red Mochas, Officer Kui, Agent Gulliver, and of course Butler. These are all the ones that I personally currently have. I'm trying to pull for Robin because he works well with Vivian and all that. And then these are the other ones, okay? So that's how you would go into there, and you can select whoever you want. I'm not going to do it, but yeah, as you can see, you would just press confirm or X, okay? Details. As you can see, the rates for this are abysmal. Trying to actually unlock one of these Bangboos. But the good news is, once they've been added to that list, they're pretty much always going to be around. So you don't have to really rush. You can have a peace of mind knowing that, hey, they're going to be around. If I don't get it today or tomorrow, I can wait till next week if I have enough pulls and, you know, do it then. But anyhow, that's that. Okay. So over here, you have the main character story. You can either choose Wise or Belle as your main character. I chose Belle because why not? We're going to go into their store. They manage a video store. If you ever want to learn how to play the game or whatever, you can just come over here. VR device. Perfect dodge, perfect assist, attribute anomaly training. Then it has all the characters that you have unlocked. It has a lesson for all of them. If you're familiar with your character but just want to test some things out, you can come to training mode, free training as they call it in this game. So for all my fighting game heads, this would be something that you would like. Basically the lab in so many words. So we'll do Billy, for example, just to show you kind of an example what we're dealing with here. And they pre-select these characters for you. No big deal. Now, with this being said, this screen at the top right, you see the smiley face, the 3 out of 3 number and all that. So I'm going to press the touchpad. Anytime you see the smiley face, their additional ability has been triggered. Not to be mentioned with the character trigger, but literally triggered, like activated. Okay? So we're not going to read the entire thing for Billy, but just know you always want to make sure you have a team where people's additional abilities are activated. Sometimes they're quite crucial and you definitely don't not want them activated. So just keep that in mind. The one part I am going to read though, it says when another character in your squad shares the same attribute or faction. So all of these characters that are on the screen are part of the Cunning Hairs. That's a faction. Okay. And same with hers. when she shares same attribute or faction. Okay, so check. Same thing with Nicole. So Nicole, Ambi, Billy. Let's get into it. But yeah, we should be good to go. So I'll show you this real quick. All right, so basically this is just going over Billy's his play style. It's pretty nice. He's more of a long range physical damage type character. He's an attacker, but his attribute is physical damage. So keep that in mind. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have too many physically weak enemies. I don't think it has much of any bosses at all. So we're just gonna follow the directions. Basically just hold the basic button, which is square. He does a bunch of shots.
Try this!
When he's in this stance, he actually does more damage. And when you're shooting, you see it real soon. Yep, what I was just about to mention. Basically, when you hold the basic attack button, aka square on the PlayStation controller, you essentially get like a free dodge, so you can move around. It's pretty nice. You can do it in any direction. Up, down, left, right, and you know, it's nice.
There's more!
The other thing it didn't tell us, but I'm gonna tell you right here, you can also do a special attack and an EX special attack. So think Street Fighter. You need meter to do EX special attacks, right? So that purple bar below our green bar at the top left part of the screen, that's our special meter. So press triangle. We just stun these enemies, so there's a lot going on, but just know if you press triangle, you'll do the EX special attack if you have meter, and a special attack if you have no purple meter. And to do your ultimate attack, you would just press R2 when your decibel is at 3,000 or more. Character will do the ultimate. Pretty nice stuff, right? You can also lock on to characters too. This game has a free camera control. So if you press R3, as you can see, much smoother looking camera, if I say so myself. So you have that ring, right? That ring next to their health bar is their anomaly build up. If you max it out, you cause what's called an anomaly. And when that happens, you do extra damage based on the attribute. You can also stun enemies too. When that bar below the health hits 100, you stun the enemy. You can also dodge by pressing X. But you do have a bit of a cooldown, so try not to spam it or anything, because you will run into problems where your cooldown still won't have cooldown and you'll be waiting. This is a chain attack. You press R1 or L1.
Electric charge.
And you can tag in a character. So, like I said, if you're a fighting game head or whatever, you might like this game. Kind of like Marvel, how you can like DHC a character in, or hard tag them in or whatever.
Okay.
So you can tag a character in anytime you want. You press L1 or R1. Like that. Pretty nice because everybody does something different.
Billy, go grease.
Like, she's pretty much your debuff style character, like a support character. She debuffs enemies and causes anomalies and stuff. Pretty nice stuff. He's the attacker and she's the stunner. So we stun him again, debuff him, calling Billy. Alright. Pop him that ultimate real quick. He's done. Okay. So we're done with this. We can just talk to this Bangboo Observable. Okay. Complete stage. We're done. That's kind of like an example of what a battle would look like. It's just a test example just to kind of see or give you an idea of what it's like. And all these characters I have, these are the ones that are under this training course. So if you ever forget what a character can do or whatever, you can come here. You can always go online. If people want to see it, I could also, with the best of my ability, kind of explain some of the characters. with what limited builds and everything I have. He's about 3 teams reliably, but that's always a possibility. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, how do I get pulls? Well, one way is by simply logging into the game every single day. So every 24 hours, you'll get what's called polychrome, which is this thing over here, top right of the screen that's highlighted. Every 160 polychromes can be converted into what's called an encrypted tape. And to do that, should have explained that before I did everything. Press options, go to signal search, right? Press L3 to go to signal shop. And then you just scroll over using L1 or R1. We're just going to use R1 so you can see everything. And then we're over here, it says encrypted master tape. Costs 160 polychromes to do so. So I press X. It asks how many. So out of the 411 I have, I can use 320 to get 2 tapes. So we're going to do that. So I just have 2 more pulls. Now, something to say. This is my opinion. I'm sure a lot of other Triple Z players will agree with me. When you get polychrome, it might seem addictive when you first started the game because, you know, you want one of those standard banners. You want to hit the numbers so you can choose who you want, right? Don't fall for the bait. Don't spend your polychrome on master tapes. We don't really care about master tapes. If you get them, that's great. Congratulations. Just don't spend polychrome to get master tapes. It is such a waste of material. Get the limited banner tape, the encrypted master tape. It's much, much better. I promise you. Now, let's say you like this game, you're playing this game, and you decide, hey, I wouldn't mind supporting Hoyo Lab. Again, I'm not sponsored. I'm just saying, you really want to support them. And you would also, you know, the most part, you want to get some more materials, but you want to pay money. Well, I got you covered. So first over here, this is your cheapest option. At least for me in America, $4.99. This is so that way every time you log in, you're guaranteed 90 polychrome. Like right off the bat. That's pretty solid for only $5. That's not bad at all. That's light spending. Nothing wrong with that. No one's going to judge you. Up to you. If you want one of these, I personally don't see a point to the outfits. It's cool. You don't need to do that. Bundle shop. As you can see, I bought these 2. I don't know when, but I got them. If you ever needed more level up materials or whatever, you can come over here, right? And buy them. And we already went over all these. These are for when you were pulling for a character, engine, whatever it is. And for whatever reason, you ended up not getting what you wanted. Well, you'll get material. So if you get a copy of a character, of an agent, I should say, you will end up getting these materials over here, residual signals. And if you have the complete mindset of, let's say, an A rank character, I can't speak for limited, like the S ranks, because I don't have anyone at M6 for limited. I'm almost there with Lycon, because every time I lose my 50-50 for the limited banners, they usually give me Lycon. I'm not sure why. I guess they really want me to max this guy out before I can succeed in this game or something. I'm not sure, but just know that's where you go. And then same thing with all these other areas. If you pull for Bangboos and you lose, come here. If you just lose your pull period to like a B rank engine or something, come here. Polychromes, come here. Enough said. Now, if you want to spend more money to get monochromes, which you can then convert into polychromes, that is the easiest way to get pulls. Just know it can be quite pricey. Be responsible when you do this, because remember, you're not guaranteed the character period, unless you lost what we call the 50-50. So the 50-50 is essentially where you go to pull for the S rank limited character, and instead of getting them as the S rank, you'll get one of the other characters that I mentioned earlier. So remember, getting to the 90th pull on your first session, that will guarantee that you get an S rank character, just not the exact one you want. However, if you were to lose your 50-50, let's say on the 50th pull, the thing rotates around and it shows a character, shows the gold, shows the S rank, all that stuff. Congrats. If it is not the character that you want, it will mean that the next time that you pull and you get an S rank, it will be that banner of the character that you want. So do keep that in mind. So rule of thumb is, if you're a free to play player and you want to guarantee that you get that specific character that you want, the S rank limited character, make sure you have 180 pulls. That sounds like a lot. It is. However, the reason I say that is that I guarantee you will give you a guaranteed that you will get that character that you want. Because remember, if you lose your 50-50 the first time, the second time around when you start pulling, it will guarantee you that when the pull has activated and the game gives you an S rank, it'll be this person or whoever it is by the time you're watching this video. You might watch it in 12 days and it'll be Hugo, and it should be Lighter, because Lighter's on rerun right now once these 11 days are up. So just keep that in mind. Also, with that being said, do keep in mind, if you're a free to play player, meaning you either spend no money at all or you only buy the $5 thing I showed you before for 30 calendar days for 90 polychrome guaranteed every day, you may want to consider skipping the S rank limited W engines, because that will guarantee you that if you just want to take the easy route and not pay any money, which is totally cool, you will be able to have more than enough pulls for the S rank agents. So there's that. But yeah, there's plenty of activities and stuff. So one of the ways to get some stuff every day, like the dailies, come to your store when you're a high enough enter not level. So my enter not level is 58 currently right now, like that. And yeah, this will be good because you can essentially unlock more things the higher your enter not level is. So we go over here to this Bangboos. So I chose Jane as my person who's taking care of the shop, the customers and stuff. I got some materials, I got some money. This is to level up the agent's skills. This is for the Bangboos to level them up, because you can level up Bangboos as well. I'll show you that in a bit. And yeah, so now I'm going to put her back in the store because I want to get as much physical stuff as I want. I'm not going to manually select tapes. I always do recommended. It's just much easier. You can do manual if you like, but doing recommended guarantees you the top dollar. And if you wait exactly, I think it's 24 hours, you get the maximum amount of Denny's of 26,000. So keep that in mind. We're going to open the store. Yes. Confirm. Next up for daily, we're not going to wake him up, so we're going to skip time. Press the touchpad and then switch to day. I don't know what happens when you wake him up. I just never do, because I have a feeling you're going to get like bad rewards, so I just don't. Talk to Mr. Howell over here. Did a scratch ticket by pressing square. Move the right joystick. Got some Denny's. All right, not too bad. See how much energy I have. Okay, so if you are in excess, or you have an excess more than the 240 daily energy, you'll start to build up excess energy, and you can always press the touchpad for PlayStation controller, press X, go to the first option, make sure that's highlighted, then press confirm. Be careful not to spin your polychromes, and then just change that into energy that you're using for now. So 269 over 240, that's not too bad, right? Last but not least, go to the cafe. This is totally up to you for today, because I know what I want. I'm gonna spend it on the 60 energy plus, you'll see what I mean.
Have a cup of coffee.
So you have the 10 master special. This gives you 80 plus energy. So if you're not trying to go to the HIA building and trying to get a specific thing from them, like you want like bonus tapes or bonus whatever it is that you're trying to get resource wise, you just want the energy to be able to do other modes that cost energy, just get the 10 master special. Definitely more worth it. 20 more energy. Otherwise, if you do care and you're trying to get resources for your character, just get espresso. So for today, we're gonna get it espresso. Press X. It's free. You can only do one per day, so keep that in mind. We're gonna skip that. He's just making coffee. So, and then you can either go to that spot immediately, which we're not gonna do because I'm gonna show you how to do it, or just confirm.
Feel lost, you can always come back here for a cup of
coffee.
I'm
gonna show you that Bangboos real quick. Once you unlock this, again, you're gonna hear me say that a lot, but that's just what to expect. Once you unlock the remodeling shop, you can come here for your Bangboos. So any Bangboo you have unlocked, it'll show all of them in this area, and there's a lot of them. So I kind of skip through. Pretty nice music, if I say so myself. And let's say we click on this guy, right? So we're on him. We're gonna level him up, same kind of like with the character. Press X. And as I showed you earlier, this is the one that we unlocked, the one I have highlighted on the left. Only gives you a little bit. But since he's level 1, it'll actually level him up quite a bit. I'm not actually going to do it, but this is what it would look like if you did it. You just hold up on a D-pad or down or up on the joystick. Much smoother to do it on D-pad. And if you want to level him up, press the X button to confirm it. We're not going to do that because I'm not really using Night Blue right now. Come back to this stuff later.
Have a good one.
Now,
please,
how to use your energy. I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. We're going to go over to HIA, right? Go over here. Select yes. And in case you didn't know, to fast travel, you just simply press R1. It'll take you to this screen. And then you just select what you want. You press X, and then there's a bunch of checkpoints throughout each stage that you can spawn at. So it's pretty self-explanatory. But before we jump into that, I just want to see, because I'm pretty sure it was Vivian I wanted to get some stuff for. So I want to level up her W engine, right? So I'm going to pretend I don't know what exact material I need to do that. So I go to her W engine that she has equipped. I press X, I press X again to enhance. So it has that anomaly symbol, but I'm still not sure. So I press R3, I press X, and it tells me how I can get it. Either I can craft it, which I'm not gonna do because as you can see, I don't have enough to do that. Or I go to the first one, obtain combat simulation W engine modification. So choose this, teleport now, confirm. All right. Now it's highlighted on the one that you would need for that character because you're asking them, hey, what material do I get? So the game does all the heavy lifting for you. So that way you don't have to think about the material you need. It just highlights it for you. So you have one of two things you can do. You can either modify it So that way you can use more energy, but you get more resources back, or spend less energy, but you get less resources back. I personally like to max mine out, just get it out the way. So based on this, I will get 5 of the red anomaly resources and then 15 to 20 of the blue one. Sounds pretty good to me. I like the plan. I'm gonna save it. And it says double. We'll show you what they mean by that at the end of this. So press options. This is my team. Just for this. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just as long as you can clear it, which you shouldn't have an issue doing. Should be good to go. Get the buff going with Astra. And clear. So as you can see, pretty easy, nothing really challenging, just kind of fodder enemies. But let's see what you get at the end of this. So I got 6 of the A rank specialized anomaly components. So now I own 7, and now I have 21 of the B rank reinforced anomaly components. So as you can see, that's one way to spend energy. I'll kind of scroll through the rest of them just to give you an idea of how this works. So you have 5 different categories. Basic, which is for basic materials. Promotion, which is to promote your agent, basically the level. W engine for W engine modification. Same thing, level up your W engine. Skill, to level up your agent's skills. And last but not least, custom. So you can kind of make your own custom plan. Pretty self-explanatory. You would just simply select one of these like this, and then you can choose. I'm going to remove all these just to kind of show you. Let's say I wanted a couple of investigator logs, 2 things for money, so 50 grand of zennies. Then let's say I want the same kind of material. You could do something like that, and that's what it would show you on the left side. 2 of the anomaly components, 3 to 4 investigator logs of A rank, 50 grand for zennies, 6 to 8 for the B rank for anomaly, and then the blue rarity B rank investigator logs. Okay, we're not going to do that, so we're just going to exit. No point in changing whatever that is. So these are what it would look like for this category. And remember, you can edit these too. So if you only want a few, you could just remove some. But we're not gonna really mess with this too much, but this is just what it would look like. And you can just scroll up and down to either add or remove them. Just remember to have them highlighted so you can remove or add or whatever. So for this one, I'll add that. We're gonna save the plan. So now anytime you go in there, you don't have to add or drop anything. And then the battery cost at the bottom right of the screen, it just says simply how much you'll have to spend on the right side. The left side is how much you have left in reserves. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. Over here, you have Lila for the expert challenge. So the expert challenge is another one of those materials you would need. I'll show you a little trick. So you can see what materials the character needs when you go to their page. But let's pretend like for me, I have characters that are level 60 with all their core skills, right? So you would come here, and if you press triangle, it says related agent. So you press triangle. This is for Seth and Jane. And then the material that they both get is called higher dimensional data falling fist. So there's a thing also called burnout mode. Now, burnout mode simply allows you to get more of that resource at the cost of more energy. So to switch it on and off, you press R3. Do you wish to exit burnout mode and restore battery charge consumption and reward output to normal levels? Confirm. So as you can see, if I did it now, I would only get 5 of that material instead of 10. See? But these discs also increase. So keep that in mind. These discs you could use at the shop I'll show you in a bit to create a specific disc that you want. That one starts at the A rank rarity, has a chance to become an S rank. Okay. And same goes with all these others. So I'll kind of just scroll through these just to kind of give you an idea of what materials go to what characters. It's pretty nice stuff that they did this. Nice little quality of life update, you know? All the characters. Not own. I'll probably get her eventually. And they're complete. So it'll also tell you that too, which is perfect. Now, I just showed you that material that you could use to get disc. So we're going to teleport to that area. So we're going to go to 6th Street and we're going to go to Bardic Needle.
The afternoon sun is exceptionally pleasant.
Here
like the
you can
rich
do
oral
what's called
aroma
tuning.
of a tune in D
You would
minor.
take these materials known as noise reduction master copies, in this case, which are A rank, and you can create A rank disk drive, sorry. And what that will do is you can actually choose what you would like to make. So I have it set for Freedom Blues because I really did want to get something for Jane Doe. So I was gonna run the 4-piece Bang Metal, which I'm running right now, and 2-piece Freedom Blues. However, my disc 4 and 5 are not that great. Disc 5, I don't even have physical damage yet, unfortunately, at the time of this recording. So I'm still on the hunt for them. So just as an example, just this one time, I'll show you what I made. Select what disc set you would like to create. So in this case, I have Freedom Blues selected, so we're gonna leave it at that. But these are the other choices. Select the slot that you would like to create it for. As you can see on that middle part, left side kinda, it'll say possible main stats. And then you can just kind of pause it if you need to see them here. But that's all different things it can create. Okay. Disc 1, Disc 2, and Disc 3 will always only be one thing. So the first one's HP, then it's attack for second, third is defense. Disc 4 has the least amount from 4 through 6, but it still has a couple more choices. Disc 5 has a bunch, and Disc 6 has, basically the same as Disc 4, but this is where RNG kind of kicks in, and this would be something that you may or may not like. I'm not gonna lie, me personally, the RNG aspect of the disc drives is a bit hardcore for me, but when you keep playing, you will get these very easily, so it's really not too bad. So just for an example, we're gonna click the 5th slot, which is this one right here. Then we're gonna press square, because what that'll do is you'll tune partition 5, which is that slot we're in, and it'll only do it one time and take up 10 of those noise reductions from the 55 I have. So if I have good luck, I might get what I want, and if not, hey, I'll show what you can do next. So let's begin. And it's kind of like the animation that happens when you do that. Okay, so I got a defense 12% with crit rate, HP, and crit damage. Now, if that was attack that actually will be at least halfway decent, but it's a Defense Disc 5. So I'm going to show you what I am personally going to do with it. So if you press R1, you'll scroll over to the next category, right? Over here are the discs you have. If you have any disc that you do not want and you would rather just get resources and materials back, this is the place to go to. So that is the good thing about this game. You can dismantle disc and stuff that you may not like. So that was this one. It'll show new, by the way, but I hovered over it apparently, so you don't see it. But this is the exact disc that I made. So you press X if you want to dismantle it, and then you just confirm it by pressing options. These are S rank drive disk. Among those selected, dismantle, either cancel or confirm. I'm going to confirm it. Now I got a hi-fi master copy, which is guarantees you an S rank disk drive, so it's pretty nice. And then a level up material for your disk drive or drive disk. Okay.
The joy that this delicious composition
And then this is the database. This literally gives you all the information for each disk drive set. So, you know, just it's real nice. They got everything lined up just for you. Pretty good stuff.
Come back again soon.
Yeah, that about wraps it up. There are definitely some more things to show, but that was just to kind of get you into a bit of what Zenless Zone, what you could do in it, stuff like that. Pretty simple stuff. I do like it. I've never really played a gacha game before, but I would highly recommend at least trying it out. And you know, that's pretty much it from there. But if you like what you see, don't forget to like the video, comment, share it if you would, and if you haven't already and you like these kind of videos, subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And there will definitely be more content period on the way very soon. It's been a very long early beginning of the year, but I'm definitely coming back. I'm gonna upload more. I'm probably definitely gonna start streaming again, and we'll go from there. But other than that, you guys take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think below. Peace out, guys.